It is time once again for another episode of Rate My Portfolio. But today, instead of reviewing one of your guys' portfolios, a lot of you have been asking in the comments down below, Tim, what do you think a perfect crypto portfolio looks like right now? And so in this video, I'm going to tell you if I had $100,000 right now to spread across cryptocurrencies, what would I do with that $100,000? Make sure to watch all the way till the end. I will give you some expectations of what that means. But with that said, if you enjoy these shows, make sure to smash that like button right now. And if you're new here, consider hitting the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our content. But first, we got to roll an intro. Really quickly, before we dive into the details of my portfolio, I do want to let you know that these videos will forevermore be brought to you by Bitcoin IRA. It is a crypto Roth IRA that you can invest in right now. You actually want to take advantage of this with only a couple more days until April 15th to make sure you get the full amount of your money put into a Roth IRA where you can trade it and spend it in different ways tax-free to prepare for your retirement. Go right now. This is a top priority. You're never too young or too old to worry about your retirement. Bitcoin IRA is the perfect company helping set you up for a lifetime of success and generational wealth. With that said, let's get into details of $100,000. How would I spend it in cryptocurrency right now? I do want to start off by saying, I cannot promise you that the bull market is about to take off and go crazy. I can't promise you that we aren't in the beginning stages of a bear market. There's so many pieces of evidence out there that support both claims. I personally, however, still believe, based on a lot of things I'm seeing on the charts and a lot of things that I'm seeing in the macro news environment, that the bull market is still coming, and there's going to be a special burst in 2025 that rolls into 2026, possibly even into 2027. That being said, this is not financial advice. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only, and I'm going to tell you what I would do with 100K right now. Maybe you don't have 100K. Maybe you have $1 million. Maybe you have 10,000. Split this however you want. I'm going to give you kind of some understanding of how I'm spending this, but I want you to know this is for the long haul. These are long-term bull market predictions and price actions I'm going to talk about here. I'm not talking about gains I'm going to make in the next week or 2 weeks or 6 months. I'm talking about the next year, year and a half. I still believe a bull market's coming, and I want to be in these coins for that long haul. So with that said, let's get into the details of the video. Now, I'm not reviewing someone's portfolio, but you guys know that I have 5 criteria that I always judge on a scale of 1 to 10 on how I approve or disapprove of a portfolio. Number 1, of course, you have coin selections. Well, in this video, I'm going to tell you the coins that I absolutely think are 10 out of 10 selections. I think people should at least hold the majority of them in their portfolio. Number 2, we're going to talk about goals. I am going to have, for the sake of this portfolio, at least a 5x, if not a 10x, is my goal. And I think there's a good chance this portfolio outdoes it. But I think that for a $100,000 portfolio is borderline perfect. Right there in that 10 to 15x goals on return is the perfect spot to be. Number 3, diversification. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. How do you make sure, even if you have a couple that you like more than others, how do you make sure you're evenly split to get not just the best return, but also protect your investment? Number 4, niches. You want to be in 5 niches. I think that real world assets, layer ones, institutionally friendly coins, AI, and DPIN picks are things that can pop off in this bull market, and you at least want a little exposure to all 5 of those. I will show you in my portfolio where I have that exposure. And then the last one, what's your overall risk to reward ratio? You do not want to be heavy risky. You want to make sure your reward outweighs that risk. This portfolio, in my opinion, is a perfect 50, a 10 on each level. And let's get into the details of why that is. Starting off with coin selection. 10 out of 10. Here are the coins. If I had $100,000, these are the ones I'd be selecting. I'll get into the details of what I'm going to spend on each one in diversification, but these are the coins I'm buying. Bitcoin, Solana, ADA, and SUI. These are my 4 layer ones that I am taking. After that are my real world assets, Chainlink, ONDO, and I know I've been on the fence on it back and forth, but I'm sticking with AVAX. AVAX has had some really good news recently. I think AVAX can make a big comeback here. AVAX, I am putting in this portfolio. After that, even though a lot of these other coins I've said are institutionally friendly, let's talk about ISO 222 tokens or institutionally friendly coins. I'm going to go with XRP, and HBAR. I love these coins. For my AI pick, I'm going to go with Render. But if you told me that you were going to go with FET or NEAR, I really couldn't complain at you. I personally am just going with Render. I wouldn't complain about the other ones, though. They would still be the same score as Render. And then, of course, for my pick, you guys have heard me talk about this recently in Rate My Portfolios, but for my DPIN pick, I'm going to go with BitTensor Tau. I think this is a very exciting coin. It's kind of funny because both Render and Tau both dabble in the AI and DPIN worlds, but I'm going to call Tau my DPIN. I'm going to call Render my AI. I'm not going to have as much money invested in those as I have in others, but I do want to have exposure to these niches. There is my coin selection. Let's talk about goals. I already told you with these coins, Bitcoin is not going to do much more than a 2 to 3x at this point, right? Even when I look at like XRP and Solana, I'm thinking best case scenario 7 to 8x, more realistically probably in the world of 5x. That being said, they're safer coins for a reason. They have a lot of adoption already. They're going to do well in this bull market. They're my safe place, safe picks, not high reward, but very low risk whatsoever. I'm going to pick up some of that reward, though, with the coins like Chainlink and Sui and ONDO, and then potentially HBAR, Render, and Tau. Those will kind of kick up and give me some extra gains that I might not get from the Bitcoin, XRP, Solana picks. So 5 to 10x is my goal here. I think for a $100,000 portfolio, that's a beautiful range to have, right? Leaning towards that 10x. As far as a diversification, here we go. 10 out of 10 here for diversification. This is how I would diversify using $100,000. Remember earlier I told you that the Bitcoin IRA is the sponsor of these new series. It's because retirement and long-term planning is essential. You have a couple more days until April 15th to still file your Roth IRA filings before 2024's tax season is over. And because I have a spouse who does not work, she stays at home, I actually don't just get the $7,000 for myself. I also can invest $7,000 for my wife as well, bringing me to a total of $14,000. So before I even invest a single dime in these coins for this bull market, I'm taking $14,000 and I'm going to be putting it into a Bitcoin Roth IRA with Bitcoin IRA. Go check them out with the link down below and sign up today. Start planning for your retirement. But with that said, just so you know, the rest of the picks, I'm only going to be working with $86,000 because $14,000 I'm putting away for a long, long haul. I'll tell you later what coins I'm going to put those into and how much in each one. I'll save that for the end where I give you price predictions and what the portfolio looks like. As far as the $86,000 goes, here's how I'm going to deploy $86,000 in these coins I just told you about. Bitcoin, I'm going $8,000. It's going to get me roughly 0.094 Bitcoin. $8,000 will go into Solana, giving me roughly 61 Solana. $8,000 will go into Cardano, giving me roughly 11,428 Cardano. I'm going to buy $10,000, a little higher here, of Sui. Sui, Link, and ONDO, I really like. They're my highest selections here. $10,000 into Sui, giving me 3,900, so 3,937 Sui. I'm going to go $10,000 in Chainlink, giving me 698 Chainlink. I'm going to give $10,000 to ONDO, which is 11,764 ONDO. I'm going to put $5,000 into AVAX. I like AVAX. I think AVAX is coming back, but it is going to be one of my lower investments here. $5,000 into AVAX. That's going to get me about 244 AVAX. $8,000 into XRP, roughly 3,603 XRP tokens. $8,000 into HBAR, giving me about 43,243 HBAR tokens, I do believe is what that one works out to be. And then I have 6,000 into Render, going a little lower than the rest of these, except for AVAX, but 6,000 into Render, which is 1,604 Render, and then $5,000 into BitTensor Tau, giving me roughly 19.6 BitTensor tokens. That's going to be my $86,000 split. And you'll notice here, I had a couple. I have my big three: Chainlink, ONDO, Sui. I'm going 10,000. I'm putting a little extra in those. And the rest of the coins, somewhere between $5,000 to $8,000. Well, I'm pretty well spread out. I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket. You don't have to mimic this perfectly. You could select other coins to go higher or other coins to go lower. But at the end of the day, this is a very good distribution and how I would split up this $86,000. Of course, the other 14 is going to be going towards my long-term retirement in Bitcoin IRA. Let's get into the niches, 5 niches. I got my layer ones: Bitcoin, Solana, Cardano, Sui. I have my real world assets: Chainlink, ONDO, AVAX. While all of those coins are very institutionally friendly, I'm going to add in the others that don't fit the layer one or the real world asset play: XRP and HBAR are going to be institutionally friendly coins. Then I got Render as my AI. I got BitTensor as my DPIN. I got all 5 niches covered. 10 out of 10 there. For my overall risk to reward ratio, when you take a look at all of the coins I selected, my goals that I have, the diversification of how I'm doing it, this is what proper risk to reward ratio looks like. So 10 across the board. This is, in my personal opinion, a borderline perfect portfolio to have right now with $100,000. That being said, you all are asking, what does this mean in terms of price predictions? Before I get there and what I think this $86,000 can become in this bull market, let's start off with the $14,000 we put into Bitcoin IRA. We're not going to give you price predictions because these are coins that I'm probably going to be holding for the next 30 years of my life. But what would I use $14,000 to buy right now in my Roth IRA for my wife and myself? I would put $2,000 into Bitcoin. I would put $3,000 into Cardano, $3,000 into XRP, $3,000 into Chainlink, and $3,000 into Solana. I'm not going to get too crazy risky here. I'm going to take the safer picks plus Chainlink, and I'm going to put my money pretty evenly split between them. But here's the good news, right? Even though you pay a small fee when you operate and trade within Bitcoin IRA, you do not pay any capital gains taxes. So if in 6 months I change my mind and want to add another coin, I can just swap some of those tokens over into that one tax-free. Or if I want to go all in for a season, maybe during a bear market, all into Bitcoin, I can trade everything into Bitcoin and then at the bottom of a bear market, spread back out into altcoins. That's one of the great advantages of a Roth IRA. It all is coming back tax-free when you retire. Go invest in that Roth IRA right now. That's how I would spend it. As far as price predictions, you guys know that I like to have some spread out ideas of what could happen. Maybe a disappointing bull market, where would this portfolio be? Maybe a realistic bull market, where I think it's going to get to. And then if things just go crazy and we go crazy high in terms of our total crypto market cap, what's the moon boy prediction for these coins and the holdings? Let's start off with low prediction. Again, we're going to talk about the crypto markets maybe only make it to about $6 trillion. There are people still out there. There are people out there that think that we're in a bear market right now. There's others who think, well, we're in a bull market, but we're not going to go crazy, crazy high. $6 trillion is all crypto is going to get to. If that happens, I still see Bitcoin getting to $150,000. I see Solana getting to $500. I see ADA to $4, SUI to $20, Chainlink to $100, ONDO to $6, AVAX to $100, XRP to $6, HBAR to $1.30, Render to $20, and then BitTensor Tau to $2,000. Those are my low, disappointing predictions if the market only makes it to about $6 trillion. This would be a 5X, bringing my portfolio from $86,000 up to roughly $443.9 thousand. Again, roughly right there around a 5X in my return. Not what I'm necessarily hoping for, but at the end of the day, 5X is 5X. That's a lot of money. I would love to see it. But what about my conservative approach, my realistic approach to where I think things can get in this bull market before it's all said and done? Bitcoin, $200,000. Solana, $1,100. Cardano, $7. SUI, $50. Chainlink, $300. ONDO, $14. AVAX, $200. XRP, $12. HBAR, $250. Render to $50. And then BitTensor Tau to $4,000. These are kind of rough ranges. I think things could be a little higher than this realistically or a little bit lower. So I'm kind of taking some averages here. But based off of if we were to make it to $11 trillion in market cap in crypto, these are the levels I think all of these coins would get to. Bringing my portfolio from $86,000 all the way over $1,017,000, a 12X on my investment. That's my realistic one. So therefore, when I'm talking about a 5 to 10X goal, I'm actually slightly outdoing it, potentially going up to more like a 12X in my portfolio. What about that moon boy situation though? What happens if crypto does pop off and go to like $20 trillion in this bull market? Well, in that case, Bitcoin could make its way to $350,000. Solana could make its way to $2,000. Cardano to $10. SUI to $90. Chainlink to $600. ONDO to $25. AVAX to $400. XRP to $20. HBAR to $5. Render to $100. And BitTensor Tau to $8,000. That would bring my portfolio to a 24X or more than a $2.04 million valuation. Am I going to be waiting for that? Probably not. I'm probably taking profit well before 24x in this portfolio, but it is technically possible if all the stars align. And again, 20 trillion does come into the crypto markets. Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think of my portfolio here that I would spend $100,000 on? What would you do differently? What are your expectations for the bull markets? Are we even in a bull market? Are we in a bear market? Let me know all that in the comments down below. I'll tell you this last thing before I go, and you guys need to smash that like button and hit subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Even if we go into a bear market, even if these prices drop from here, these are the coins that I would be looking for long-term bull market holds. And again, even longer term for a retirement as well. You want to get in on these coins while they're cheap. Most of them are still down 50, 60% from all-time highs. That makes them amazing buying levels. Even if a bear market comes, these are still good opportunities you want to take advantage of. If you want to learn more about it, though, go join our free Discord, and I'll chat more with you over there. I'll see you in the next video. Adios. Well, looky there. You made it to the end of the video. That means you either really liked it or really hated it. And either way, make sure to leave your thoughts in the comments down below because it really does help us create better content for you, the viewers. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to check out our channel because we have a lot of content just like this as we seek to help educate every single person on how to actually create financial freedom for themselves and their families. But to make sure that you see those videos, hit that subscribe button and like all of our content as it really does help us out. If you want to go a step further and connect with the bros even more, make sure to check out our free Discord down below where the chat never stops and you'll be surrounded by a community of people just like you who want to better themselves. Go ahead and click on it. We'll see you in the next one.